Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ramadan kini tiba lagi. Tapi kali ini Ramadan disambut dengan suasana yang berbeza disebabkan COVID-19. Banyak kebiasaan yang menjadi tradisi kita tidak dapat dilakukan tahun ini. Tetapi itu tidak menghalang kita dari terus ke hadapan, dari mencari rezeki ataupun beribadat. Dengan teknologi digital, kita masih boleh berhubung walaupun tidak seperti biasa. Dan berdoa wabak COVID-19 ini berakhir dalam masa terdekat. Ramadan ni, Ramadan bukan biasa. Ramadan ni, Ramadan luar biasa. Ramadan luar biasa.
Hello everyone and welcome back to eDagang Expo #eDX, organized by Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation (MDEC) and supported by Ministry of Communication and Multimedia. This is our last webinar of the day. For those who have stayed with us since 10:30 a.m. in the morning, thank you for your support. And for those who just tuned in, let me do a little bit of intro of eDagang Expo. This is a 5-day event from 4th of May until 8th of May, featuring a series of webinars to help educate and encourage local businesses on selling online. To get more information on eDagang Expo, and also if you'd like to register for our webinars, do visit our website at www.go-ecommerce.my. We will answer some of your questions towards the end of this session, so feel free to send them in. You can type your question at the Q&A tab for those who are watching us through Zoom app. And for those who are watching from Facebook Live, you can just type your question at the comment section. Earlier on, we have heard from ourshop.com by AirAsia, Lazada, and also a panelist session discussing about cross-border trading. Now, we present to you Yong Sheng from eBay, who is also going to talk about cross-border selling. Yong Sheng has worked with over 200 SMEs from Southeast Asia for international export and is a strong believer in equipping SMEs with the necessary knowledge and capabilities to go global in a sustainable manner. He has a track record of recovering a multi-million-dollar seller, recover his cross-border business 3.5 times in a time frame of 6 months, and growing a new seller to USD 50K a week in 6 months. Wow, that's quite impressive. His topic today is Introduction to eBay Cross-Border Selling Opportunity. Welcome to eDagang Expo, Yong Sheng.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction and big thanks and that for pulling together such an amazing series of events in
No
such a short period of
problem.
time. So
How are you doing
thank you
today?
very much for the kind introduction. Doing great, I must say. Really getting used to, I think, working from home. I think it's been MCO for a while already. So I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah, thankful for how digital has kind of changed our lives and allow us to work during this period as well. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, without further ado, over to you, Yongcheng.
Right, thank you. All right, let me get my screen shared. Right. Okay, so a very good afternoon, everyone. So thank you, for taking about 45 minutes of the time, to share that time with us, right, to understand all about eBay. So a quick introduction of myself again. My name is Yongshen, and I head up the business development and partnerships team here in eBay Southeast Asia. So my team is responsible to actually help all new to eBay merchants become successful millionaire sellers on our platform. So today, what we'll be talking about is really an introduction to what eBay is all about. And specifically, we'll be talking about cross-border and global selling opportunities. So let's start off, right, with a poll. Who knows or who doesn't know eBay, right? So let's see. Who knows eBay? Do you know eBay? So I'm hoping that it will be quite a positive response. So please, guys, don't disappoint me. So are we getting the results? Let's see.
The answers are coming in. So I'm just going to close it in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So 93% of the respondents said yes. So I think that makes my life, that bit easier. So so for those of you, for the 7% of you who do not know, eBay was founded more than 25 years ago. So eBay is actually quite, I would say, a mature and old company for in the digital space. So this for me actually reminds me a lot of what eBay started with, right? So this was eBay's first logo, and eBay was actually founded as a bidding and auction site. So some of you actually may know eBay as a bidding and auction site, and eBay was actually known very much for used goods, right? So I think today it might be very different. I'm going to share with you, how different it is later on. So right now, let's run another poll, right, just to get a sense of how many of you have sold on eBay before. Let's see. So while we wait for the polls to come in, right? So MDEC has specifically asked me, to get ready some fire sale. So for those of you who are going to stay till the end of the session, we will have a very attractive promotion lined up for you. So do stay tuned for that. Right, I think the polls have closed. Have you sold on eBay before? 88% of you said no. So I trust today's session will be very beneficial for you, and I hope what I'm sharing with you today it's of interest and of use for you to help you start your global business. So feel free to keep the Q&A coming. We should have plenty of time to address your questions. Yeah. So eBay, as I mentioned, was founded some time ago. It's founded as a platform to connect anyone to any other person from one part of the world to another part of the world. Till today, that mission and that vision stays the same. We aim to connect millions of buyers and sellers around the world and to empower people and create economic opportunity for all. So that is our vision. And we are really not the eBay you think, we are, have 1.3 billion live listings. 80% of the items sold on our platform are new. 90% of them are fixed price. So gone are the days where eBay is about used goods and auction. And eBay, we are talking about a reach of 190 countries and 180 million active buyers. So for those of you who might be selling locally in Malaysia, right? All of us know Malaysia's population of 30 odd million. All right. So if you do today, start to decide to sell on eBay, you're talking about a reach of 180 million active buyers. So imagine that kind of reach. Right, so we are actually not new in Malaysia. We are actually enabling more than 9,000 sellers in eBay currently. So clearly a lot of them are not here today. So all of you are new. So we hope we'll be able to help each and every one of you get started online. 77% of them actually sell outside of Malaysia. So I think NDEC Matrix all loves us because we are the largest export enabling platform when it comes to e-commerce. And just a fun fact, the top Malaysian seller sells 34 million in US dollars, right, in annual GMV. So that is the total turnover that you could generate on our platform if you do decide to start today. So what makes eBay different? Number one, we are a seller-only platform, meaning we do not buy products and sell products and compete with you. So we work hand in hand with our sellers and we win only if you succeed. The second thing is that we have got friendly policies. Number one, we work with PayPal, so you get cash immediately into your PayPal account post-sale, right? Even before you ship your product. Okay, that doesn't mean that you can, outsmart us and cheat us. We have ways to protect against that. But in summary, you will get cash, into your account before you ship your item, and your cash flow will be very healthy. The second thing is that you are free to decide your ship from location and your shipping method. So we understand, as sellers, sometimes you have your products, say in China, you have products in Malaysia, you have your products in the United States, etc., etc. So you are free to decide where you want to ship from and how do you want to ship, whether it is through postal or through express or through freight, right? We understand that products are different and could vary. So we allow you to do that. We do not have a fulfillment house and fulfillment center where you need to store your items with us. That's not the way we work. Last but not least, we have got local support. Our customer service center is actually based in Klang Valley itself. We offer local customer service from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Malaysia time. And we've got account managers, right, with localized programs to help you grow, to handhold you along the way. In fact, I have actually a couple of them on the line with me today. They will be helping me with some of the Q&A along the way as well. So this is actually one of the frequently asked questions in terms of web store versus local marketplace versus global marketplace. How do we compare? So the first one, when you talk about web store, a lot of us know that there's a need to do SEO, SEM, right? There's a need to generate continuous value for buyer stickiness. And kind of you need the marketing strategies and plans for each of the individual different countries. Let's say you want to sell to Malaysia, you need one set of marketing strategy. You want to sell to Singapore, one set, etc., etc. So generally, the cost for marketing, user generation, retention is generally quite high. So that's why users and sellers like to go to marketplaces, right? So marketplaces gives you a ready pool of buyers and gives you tools and processes in order for you to sell easily, right? And if you compare it to, with a global marketplace, say like eBay, of course, the market size is way bigger, our revenue potential is higher, and we have got a more mature set of tools and processes to allow you to sell. So as an example, to list a product, you can use your mobile phone to take a photo and get your listings done. We've got backend AI engines to recommend certain fields, right, based on the products that you're listing. And we've got a new tool, which is called the background cleaning tool. So essentially, let's say if you're taking something against a black or green or orange background and you want to make it white, right? The tool actually allows you to remove that background and change it to white automatically. On top of that, we also allow you to list through the user interface, like on your web, on the web. You can use CSV files, or you can use third-party API tools, technology tools to help you list as well. So we have a very mature set of tools to help you get started. So in terms of GMV transacted and active buyers, I think this is one of the frequently asked questions, and a lot of times people want to know, right? So we did a kind of a rough depiction in terms of graphically from local versus global, and in terms of GMV and buyers. So that gives you a sense of how we compare. Right. So if I could just get you to have one statement to take away for today is if you have the right product and you sell it at the right time, you have people making purchases day and night from different continents. So the way they look at it is that let's say if you list on eBay as a platform in the day, you will have people in Australia buying from you. In the afternoon, people in Europe are buying from you, and at night when you're probably sleeping, people in the United States are buying from you. So that's a beauty of the global platform like eBay. So going into slightly more details about what kind of category you can actually sell on the platform. So in short, anything really. In US, a watch sells every 5 seconds. A sports trading card sells every 2 seconds. So for any of you who may have Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon cards, you can sell them. In UK, makeup sells every 3 seconds and appliance sells every 5 seconds. In Germany, something as big as a car or truck part sells every 13 seconds. And in Australia, a smartphone case sells every 1 minute. So the products that sells on the platform range from what we are very used to buying in or selling in Malaysia itself, such as the electronics, the home-related products, the fashion-related products, to something that you would never imagine you could sell on the platform, such as a car or a truck part, or even a home appliance. Bring it a bit closer to home. We actually did a study in terms of what kind of inventories we can sell in Malaysia, from Malaysia, right? Things that are made in Malaysia or could be traded through Malaysia, and we have huge price competitive advantages on. So the first category is actually automotive parts and accessories. So we have found that a lot of these products are actually made here in Malaysia, from rims to camshaft to air filters, oil filters, engine mounting, gearbox, drive shaft, etc., right? I know, in the audience today, there might be some automotive experts, so I will not pretend to be an expert over here. So this is actually one of the huge categories you could sell, and I would encourage you to explore, right? If you have not started doing that yet. There are not many marketplaces around the world where you can sell automotive parts and accessories. Second category, health and beauty, right? One of the favorite of a lot of our sellers, Tongkat Ali, weight management, probiotic, slimming cream, vitamin and creams, etc. So this is actually one of the other category that is widely available in our market and could yield a way higher price in the global market. Number 3, home and living, right? We all know that Malaysia actually manufactures a lot of rubber related products. So mattresses is actually one of the high in demand inventory that could sell. And also we make a lot of wooden related furniture as well. So that is another high in demand inventory that we really want to see how we can help Malaysia SMEs export globally. Number 4, business and industrial. So this is actually personally one of my favorite, because I would say it's a very unique category, and you literally can't get many competitors out there who are fighting with you and having a price war with you. So in this category, it ranges from electrical, test equipment, programmatic logic controller, industrial supplies, etc., etc. So most recently, one of my account managers was telling me that their seller actually sold an item that is worth 70,000 in US dollars, just one transaction. So that is the kind of variety of products that you can sell, and that also speaks to the kind of buyers that are shopping on our platform. Number 5, toys and hobbies. I do know that Hot Wheels, die-cast toys, is actually made in Malaysia. So cars, trains, die-cast toys, action figures, collectibles, very in-demand inventories from Malaysia. Last but definitely not the least, sporting goods, sneakers, sports shoes, golf, cycling, fishing. Fun fact for you, we have a fishing seller, does close to 3 million in US dollars with us a year. One selling sports shoes, sneakers, on average weekly doing 10,000 in US dollars. So just to call out a few successful new eBay sellers that we actually managed to onboard in the last 1 year. The first one is actually a manufacturer of a foam mattress. They did USD $1 million with us in the first year of selling. Second one is brick and mortar retailer of watches, right? $28,000 US in the first 3 months. The third one is reseller of automotive parts, $20,000 in the first 3 months. So one of the key points I also want to bring up from this slide is that whether you're a manufacturer, you're a brick and mortar retailer or reseller, there is an opportunity for you that you can tap on this platform. Okay, one of the very frequently asked questions as well, COVID-19, how is eBay being impacted? So I would say that all businesses have been impacted in one way or another. eBay is not spared as well. One of the key things and trends that we see is that the categories that used to sell very well are not selling as well anymore. Like things like fashion, right? Okay, imagine you do not need to go out. Why would you be buying so much fashion-related items? But on the contrary, things like disposable gloves selling very well. I know Malaysia makes a lot of those. Bread machines selling very well. Weights selling very well. Computer monitors selling very well. Now everybody's working from home. People who used to not have big screens at home need one now. And not forgetting dog food as an example, right? You're getting a lot more time with your pets at home, and you generally will spend more time and effort to ensure that your pets are being cared for. So this gives you a flavor in terms of what kind of categories are doing particularly well amidst COVID-19. So that gives you kind of a introduction and overview of what eBay is all about. So in the next section, I'm going to touch on some of the best practices, for you to win on eBay. So I see, the Q&A is coming in. So very glad to see that. One of them was asking about any tips to get more sales on eBay. So in this very section, I will be talking about, how do you win on eBay. So on eBay, more than 80% of our buyers actually, when they visit the platform, what they do is that they search, right? So how do you win is you need to win search. And on the back end of eBay search is what we call best match, right? And for you to win, you really need to optimize for best match. So to draw a very simple analogy, right? I think a lot of us are familiar with Google SEO. That allows you to get to the top, and more impressions means more clicks and higher ranking. On eBay, it works in a similar manner, right? That allows you to get maximum visibility and ranking on eBay search results. So the main question that we have is, how do you get higher ranking, especially as a new seller? So this is how eBay homepage looks like. If you let's say search GPS, by default is being sorted by best match. So if I could summarize best match, it actually are two main factors, right, to drive this. One is actually relevance, another part is ranking. So first, when let's say a user searches GPS, right, eBay needs to decide on what are the relevant listings. So you can imagine, just now I mentioned that we have billions of listings, right? We cannot be surfacing billions of listings to the user. And at the same time, we cannot be crawling through billions of listings every time a buyer actually do a search. So how do we streamline and make that process more efficient? What we do is that we start to catalog the products, right? So in order for your product to appear to the buyer, you need to be relevant. And how do you become relevant? The first thing is you need to list in the right category and using the suitable catalog. The second thing is that you will need to have keywords in your title. eBay gives you 80 characters to list per item for free. And we recommend for you to complete this field called the item specifics. So item specifics is what we consider as structured data. to allow you to list things in a highly structured manner. So for instance, let's say if you're selling a watch, you will have item specifics like item condition. You will have item specifics like UPC, which is the unique product code, which is essentially barcode. So why is that field important is a lot of the users today, they may be doing O2O shopping, right? I think O2O is a very familiar term for many of us. They may be shopping offline. They can swipe out their phone. They can take a photo of the barcode and put it on eBay, and they expect to be able to find the item. You can imagine if you don't put the unique product code on your item specifics, your listings will not appear. Other item specifics include things like gender, size, color, etc., etc. So for every category of the product, we will have a recommended set of item specifics. We recommend for you to maximize the number of item specifics that you input on the system. So after you are relevant, so what will happen is that eBay will start to rank you, right? So we split that into pre-transaction and post-transaction. So pre-transaction is what happens or what you can do before you sell an item. Post-transaction is what you can do after you sell an item. So before you sell an item, right, what do you need to do to get as high as ranking as possible? The first thing is that you need to provide free shipping, right? That doesn't mean that you need to subsidize your shipping. It's just really including your shipping price into the item price. So why is this so important? It's because two main reasons. One is actually buyer psyche. Buyers buying behavior has been changing a lot over the past couple of years. They are being pampered with free shipping, right? So what many of them do is that they will just do a filter of free shipping. So if you don't offer free shipping, what that means to you is that you will lose a sizable chunk of buyers. And this could even go up to 40, 50%, right? Depending on the proportion of the people who take free shipping. The second thing is to accept returns, right? So accepting returns is really a testament to your belief and your trust of your own product, right? Accepting returns doesn't mean that you will have a lot of returns, right? A lot of us buy, right? We all know that a lot of sellers offer returns, but that doesn't mean we will all, return the item 100%, right? It all depends on the quality of the product, whether we like it, and of course, the item is actually delivered as per what was promised. Number 3 is really the number and quality of image, right? So we give you up to 12 images for free, no charge, okay? And we recommend for you to have 1000 by 1000 pixels at the very minimum, right? So that allows the user to actually blow up the image when they actually shop or browse on the platform. The last but not least, I need to emphasize it's not the least. In fact, it's actually one of the most important, is to have a competitive price, right? So don't try to make too much money, when you first start off, right? Test out the platform, as you sell, you realize that there's good margins to be made, then that's when you can start tweaking your price upwards. That's what we recommend. So just to touch on a bit in terms of what you can do after you sell your item, is really the more you sell, the better your ranking. And please ship as per your promised handling time. So when you list on the platform, you will be listing, you'll be choosing two main options other than the item info. You'll be placing the handling time, which is the time you will need to pack your item from the date from the time the order is placed. And you will be required to also input the type of shipping that you will be using, which I'll talk in more details in the next slide. So let's say if you put 3 days of handling time, which means from time of order, you need 3 days to pack. Please pack within these 3 days, right? So eBay measures your performance based on that. And the last one, very important, is use fully tracked shipping, right? To me, if you are using untracked, it means that you're praying that the item actually reaches the buyer, right? So that is no excuse in today's world, because most of, I would say, carriers, 3PLs, express, postal companies are able to provide all this 100% tracked services in a rather affordable price. Okay, in the next section, I'm just going to talk a bit about choosing a suitable shipping option. So we're going to run another round of poll again, just to get a sense of how many of you actually have sold overseas before. So that allows me to understand to what level of detail I need to talk about shipping, right? So while you guys actually respond to the poll, on eBay, when you do cross-border shipping, you pick one of the three options: expedited, standard, or economy. Expedited is essentially equivalent to 1 to 4 business days. So if let's say you are using DHL Express, FedEx, Aeromax, UPS, TNT, that should be the option that you are picking. If you are using standard, it's 5 to 10 business days. Economy is 11 to 23 business days. So we have got the poll results. 85% of them have not sold before overseas. 16% has sold before. So good insight to know. So I'm just going to go into a bit more detail for this section. So how do you choose, right, what kind of service you should be using? This is a rough framework that we have developed for you to reference. I just need to do a disclaimer here. Is if you want specific recommendation, do check in with the service provider and our account managers. We will be able to guide you along the way. This is really just a table for reference, just a very quick overview of what you should be using based on your product profile. So there's actually 3 main dimensions that we need to look at. One is weight, second is velocity of sales, and third, the value of the product. So let's say if your product is highly lightweight and low in value, less than $100 US, we recommend that you use economy or standard shipping, right? Because using expedited may mean that your cost is too high. Let's say if it's high value, we recommend using expedited, example, jewelry or smartphone, because you definitely do not want your item to reach your buyer slowly or even risk any chance of damage. Let's say if you have high velocity of sales, right, and your item is light and low value, right? So we actually recommend for you to actually what we call forward deploy your items and store it in a warehouse nearer to your destination markets. So this option may be a bit more confusing for you guys, but not to worry, we have service providers that we can recommend to you as well. Let's say if you are high value product, right, and lightweight, but it's high velocity of sales. So you can consider using a mix of expedited and warehouse, right, to lower your cost of shipping, right? Because if you actually forward deploy, you can imagine if you bulk ship your items, let's say to US, and then ship it last mile one by one, that actually lowers your cost of shipping altogether. So let's say if you're selling heavy items, like more than 10 kilos and low velocity of sales, we actually recommend for you, if it's low value, we recommend for you to actually warehouse your item, because sending by expedited would be way too expensive for you. But of course, if it's high value, you can choose to do expedited shipping. Like I shared with you earlier, like the $70,000 lab equipment that one of our sellers sold, they are using one of the expedited shipping service providers. So that, in a nutshell, is kind of a framework that we have developed for you to reference. So if you are overwhelmed by this, not to worry, we have account managers to work with you along the way. So in the next section, I'm going to talk about getting started. So we've got some questions on fees as well. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room. So on eBay, we have generally 2 main fees that you'll be paying to us. One is store fees. That is a monthly subscription from $21.95 in US dollars a month, right? And that allows you to list up to 250 listings, right? So that is a monthly recurring fee that you have to pay to us, right, to get a store, and you get 250 listings. And with a store, you can custom brand. You get access to a myriad of research and promotional tools, right? To research on your competitors, how do you price your products, and also how to promotion, bundle your products as example, or do markdown or do sales, right? So all these tools comes along with your store subscription. Next set is actually the final value fees. Many of us know that as the transaction fees. So that is pay per sale. So after you sell something, you pay to eBay 4 to 9.15%, depending on the category of items you sell. Okay. So the next 2 set of fees relating to selling on eBay is actually not paid to us. It's actually paid to PayPal and your logistics service provider. So to PayPal, you're paying 4.4% plus 30 cents US dollars. So you notice that we marked that as a maximum of 4.4%. So some of you may have your own PayPal account already, and you may be using that for your other businesses. So let's say if you have a preferential rate, you will be using your existing preferential rate with PayPal for your eBay sales as well. And last but not least, shipping. That is what you will pay to the third-party service providers when you sell your item. So all in all, what is the exact fees that you should be factoring into your products? It's actually between 8 to 13%, including PayPal fees, right, for store subscribers, right? So some of you may be like, wow, so expensive, right? So this is actually very, very, very frequently asked to us, each and every one of us. So we acknowledge that we are more expensive than a local or the domestic platform or marketplaces. But one thing I need to call out is that we are different, right? The kind of scope and the reach that we have talked about in terms of 190 countries and 180 million active buyers. So that is the difference. And our cost base is also very different as well. We actually help you to do all the SEO, SEM, reaching out to the buyers, all that's required for you to be able to sell to these 190 countries fairly easily. And one more thing to call out is that all our sellers are actually paying this amount of price, and they can still generate multi-million dollars on our platform. So to get started, right? For you to have a crash course of what our business size is like. So we are a global platform. We have got sites in 4 major regions: eBay.com, eBay.co.uk, eBay.de, and eBay.com.au, right? So the major differences between these 4 sites is essentially the transacted currency and, of course, the market size. So to give you a flavor of the market size, US is 40B, UK is 13, Germany is 12, and Australia is 6. So that is the size and scale that we're talking about. So you can imagine, right, what kind of business that you can do on our platform. So for all of you, we actually recommend for you to start on eBay.com because you can sell to US and the world. Essentially, what this means is that you only need to do 1 listing. You will be able to sell to 190 countries already, okay? And the other thing to note is that if you are to sell to US as well, the de minimis threshold is very high. It's at $800 US, meaning you sell anything under $800 to US, you do not need to worry about GST, right? Or what we are familiar with in SST, right? And we all know that Malaysia's de minimis threshold is not very high. In US, it's very high, it's at $800 US. So we always recommend for you to start in .com. So to get started, when you sell on eBay.com, you get to sell to US and the world on just 1 platform with 1 listing. You get low starting fee, and you get 50 free listings every month. And duty and taxes are only applicable if you are selling items above USD $800. So some of you will be like, don't you have an ebay.com.my? Yeah. So that is actually a domestic site targeted at Malaysian buyers. But what we want each and every one of you today to do is to be able to sell to the world. But ebay.com.my is still relevant to us. That's where we set up the account. We have to register on ebay.com.my, link PayPal and credit card to set up your seller account. So PayPal is your receiving wallet. Every time you sell an item, the money will go into your PayPal. And credit card is how you actually pay the eBay fees. So you pay your eBay fees only once a month, right? So you can imagine, you don't need to pay anything just to get started. Only when you sell something and whatnot, at the end of the month, then we collect money from you. So that's how we work, how customer friendly we are. And the third thing is that once you have registered an account, link the PayPal and credit card, just submit the following documents to us through your account managers, and we'll get your business started. What are the documents we need? Number 1, colored copy IC. Number 2, a copy of your SSN. And number 3 is a recent bank statement with address that matches your eBay registered address. So I need to call out here, please use an address that matches your business entity or that you have proof for. I have a lot of sellers who anyhow, put ABC or whatnot, then eventually when it comes to verifying, they to verify all the. So please use email, name, company name, and also your address. Please do that, and phone number. Okay. So to get started, right? We actually have got a team of account management people who can do one-to-one business consultation with you. So all you need to do is to take out your phone, scan this QR code. You'll be brought to I would say a form. Complete the form with your information, and our account managers will actually reach out and call you. So what is the account management journey about? So we will actually walk you through these 4 main phases of global cross-border selling. First is get started. Second, to create your first listing, to when you first sold your item, and we want you to become the next top seller. So I will not bore you with the details. This slide will be shared with you after this session. So you can actually read this in detail later on. So you would have actually done some of the getting started on your own, right, via some of the instructions or some of the best practices I've talked about today. And for the next few phases, our account managers will be walking through this journey with you. So those of you who did not catch the QR code, not to worry. I will have another version of the QR code for you to scan later as well. So some of you may ask, right, I can sign up as an eBay seller on my own. So why should I be signing up with you, right? So one of the key differences is that there is a major difference between a business seller and a casual seller. So if you are a business seller, you are actually entitled to a local account manager. So someone will be in close touch with you. You will have the person's personal email and also WhatsApp information. Please do not spam, use it sparingly. You will get business support from our customer service, a more experienced team of people rather than just general. For some of you who may have tried on eBay, you will know this thing called selling limits. So selling limits is how we actually, I would say, allow you to have a step-by-step process, right, to start selling on the platform. We know that cross-border and global may not be the simplest, so we want to guide you through a step-by-step process. So if you are a casual seller, you will only be given limited limits at the start, starting with only 10 quantities and $500 in value. But let's say if you are signing up with our account managers, you will be entitled to become a business seller. You have upgraded selling limits, and that gives you 3,000 quantity and $150,000 in value. So this value actually grows as according to your maturity on the platform. So some of you will be like, hey, I use automation tools to list, right? Can you give me upfront limits from the start? Yes, that is possible. Through our account managers, we might be able to get this lifted for you. So, and you'll be get access to subsidy plans, which in the next slide I'll be talking about. But in terms of fees that you'll be paying that I mentioned just now, it's actually the same. Okay, so if you are signing up as a business seller, what we ask for you to do for your collaboration is please start your account and listings activity early on, because if it's actually not active, what we will need to do is to demote you from a business as a casual seller, right? But come on, if you are doing business, I'm sure you need to be serious about it and not just be super casual about it, right? So I've actually come to my last slide. For Malaysian sellers attending today's eDagang Expo with MDEC, we are offering up to $1,000 in store and promotion fee rebates from 1st of May until 30th of September 2020, right? To participate and to be eligible for it, again, scan the QR code, leave your information with our account managers. They will do an outbound email or call to you and share with you details of the promotion. So with that, that has actually bring me to the end of my session. We will open the floor for Q&A right now.
Okay. I cannot see myself. Okay, Yongshen, can you hear me?
Yes, all good.
All right, because I cannot see myself in my video. It's okay. Thank you for sharing, Yongshen. That was full of information and also tips to sell on eBay. So I think our audience have a better understanding of what is eBay, how to sell in eBay. I don't know about the business. There's a business seller and there's a casual seller in eBay. Now I know. All right. I would like to do an announcement for the fire sales once more. To those who would like to get the offer, the account manager of eBay to contact you. And if you don't have a QR code scanner, it's okay, because at the end of this webinar, we will share a link. There is a link and will pop up after the webinar end. You just need to click that and fill in your details. And for those watching us from FB Live, we will also share the link at the comment section. All right, now we have come to the Q&A session. So I'm gonna see at this Q&A tab here, Yongshen. All right. We're going to answer live some of this question, and we try to answer as much as question that we can. Okay, let's see this. The question from Farid, FDZR. The problem on becoming an eBay seller is that the cost of delivery to overseas is too expensive. Any advice? Because we have to do our own shipping, right?
Yes, that's right. You have to do your own shipping. So to address that question, I think many of us may be daunted with the cost of shipping. Because, sorry, you guys hear me good?
Yes.
Seems to have some breakage. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so in terms of cost of shipping, many of us may be very daunted, right? Because the kind of rates that you probably see on shipping companies' website are all retail rates, right? Meaning retail rates, meaning today I'm a consumer and I want to go and ship something. I walk in and then I pay something, right? And that is what I call retail rates. Many of the logistics companies, actually how they work is that once you actually open a business or corporate account, the discounts can range from 30% to 70 or 80%. So that is the kind of delivery rates that you should be paying as a e-commerce business seller, right? So all you need to do is actually to set up an account. And how to set up an account, you may not know maybe the person in the logistics service provider, but not to worry. Again, our account managers will be more than happy to refer you accordingly, and we have pre-negotiated rates with them.
Awesome. There's another one question here from Raja Isman Munif. Do food products able to be listed in eBay?
Okay, that's a very good question. In short, any kind of products can be listed and can be sold on a platform. But when it comes to food, we really need to understand, is this consumer packaged product like CPG, right? Or is it perishable like vegetables or beverages that needs to be cold chain or refrigerated, right? So if it's perishable, cold chain, refrigerated, really you cannot sell globally and cannot sell cross-border for that kind of items. But let's say you're selling CPG, right? Like maybe a package of fish skin, right? That can be sold on the platform. In fact, just last week, I have one of the seller that sold, how much was it now? $200 of fish skin. So like they bought like a few cartons. So because I think that person is stuck at home in the United States and really wants, to eat fish skin, and they can't get it in the United States. So they bought it from our seller in Malaysia. Yeah.
All right. Okay, then this is another question from Liana. Macam mana nak tahu high demand product di eBay? I'm going to translate that. How to know if there is
Okay, I know
high
that.
demand
It's okay.
product in eBay, high demand product in eBay.
Wah, mana tahu ini. How do I do this? There's a few ways to do it. Of course, you cannot ask me lah. If I can tell you, then I would sell it myself already. How I would actually go about doing that is actually do your research. So the first thing is that go to eBay.com to do the search, right? The website is public, right? You can just search an item and try to find whether the item actually sells or not based on what you have on hand. The second thing is that if you subscribe to a store, you will have access to a research tool called TerraPeek, TerraPeak, right? It's a data research tool that is bought by eBay, and it has direct access to all our data warehouses, and it analyzes and crunches based on the products that you're selling and surfaces the necessary products and the pricing and the competitors to you.
All right. Okay, this is another question from Yulita. Many countries has return policy. What happens when a buyer wants to return the product?
Right. Another very good question as well. So for returns, right, cross-border returns is definitely not easy, I must say. But not to worry, there's actually lots of service providers in the market today who can actually offer return solutions. As an example, most of the express companies allow you to buy some labels that, from Malaysia itself. You can pass it to the buyer, and the buyer can actually return the item back to you using that prepaid return label. So I know it may be a bit technical for some of you. Again, account managers will walk you through this journey. We are all with you, not to worry.
Okay, I think I saw some question at the chat section that seller and buyer can be the same account when you register eBay. You are the seller, you are the buyer as well.
Yes, you can use the same account to sell and to buy.
All right, that's pretty straightforward answer. Most of the answer I saw here is all about shipping. I think this is a good one. From Anonymous, what is the biggest advantage or difference to sell to US market by using eBay compared with Amazon, especially on the logistic? They all emphasize on logistic right now.
That's a very good question. I think for this, I would just go back, to the earlier point that I raised, right, about how eBay is unique and it's different. The first thing is that eBay does not compete with you. So I'm sure many of us have actually seen in the news before where many marketplaces, when they realize that you sell super well, they will have a separate merchandising team that source for the same product, maybe white label it and sell, and then cannibalize on your sales. I think that's one of the major differences that eBay was founded on and still stays the same today. So that's one major difference. And then another major difference I just want to call out is that we let you decide how you want to ship from. We acknowledge that not all products should be stored in the US, say fulfillment by the platform, right? You can ship it from Malaysia itself as well. We work with a lot of third-party service providers. So again, to the logistics point, right? We have close contacts with all the major carriers, right? DHL, FedEx, UPS, RMX, TNT, Malaysia Post, DHL e-commerce, right? So we have pre-agreed rates as well. So we'll be more than happy to help you with it in terms of introduction and getting the best rates possible.
Awesome. All right. I think this is a very interesting question by Boone. Let me say this out. Why does some seller register a store in specific country like Australia or UK? What is the advantage of doing this compared to open a store on ebay.com?
Okay. So if you guys recall, earlier I had one slide that talks about, you have ebay.com, .co.uk, .com.au, right? So of course, you can sell globally on .com, 190 countries. You can sell to UK and Australia already, no issues, right? But one of the key things is that the transacted currency is in US dollars. So a buyer, right, who is visiting .com, they will be buying in US dollars, and not every buyer would like that experience. So as actually a buyer, or as I would say, as a seller actually matures along the way, along the journey, our account managers will actually guide you guys towards opening your second or third or fourth account, right? That deals with UK pounds, Australian dollars, and that allows you to actually increase your reach, your coverage, and then at the same time diversify your currency so that you have more, I would say, diversified FX risk as well. So yeah, so generally that's what large sellers do. They have one account in all major sites, and that allows them to have a localized approach to target the respective buyers accordingly, whether from the pricing standpoint in terms of the currency or even in terms of the way they list, right? Something could be called A in US or B in UK, right? I can't think of a good, let's talk about handphone, right? Like in US, it could be called mobile phone, right? In UK, it's called cell phone, right?
Okay.
So the way you do some of these listings may be a bit different, and having multiple accounts in multiple sites allow you to have a more localized strategy. But at the start, again, don't need to be so complicated. Just have one account, sell everywhere first, and then as you grow, then you have your third, second, your third, your fourth.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I saw few of same question from the chat section there. Can eBay help with loan? Any loan from eBay?
Well,
some of
as much
local
as
market e-commerce platform have offer SMEs to take loan from them. How about eBay?
Yeah, as much as I would like to, we don't really have a bank loan or payments license to do that, right, in the Malaysian market. But we would love to actually partner with eDX or some of the local banks to make that happen. Yeah, one of the folks told me that eDX has actually do have such related support as well. So I'm sure we can work something out for you, right?
Okay. Oh, one question also from the chat that I think this is interesting from Yanis Chong. How is the currency can be transferred into our account? Maybe different currency back to Malaysian ringgit.
Okay, cool. Yep. So when the money is actually sold, right, you'll be actually collecting US dollars. You actually withdraw into your PayPal account. So on PayPal account, you do not need to do any, I would say, currency conversion on a per transaction basis. You can keep that in US dollars for as long as you want, until a point where maybe you think the FX is favorable. You can do a one lump sum conversion into MYR, and that's when you actually withdraw that money into your Malaysia bank account. But let's say if you have a US bank account in the United States, you can directly withdraw it over there as well.
Okay, I think talking about some offer that you said just now, question from Justin Wong. Maybe he's an existing business seller in eBay, because his question is, existing business seller, no enjoy of USD thousands store and promotion free rebates. Do you have any promotion on existing seller?
Right. For existing sellers, this promotion will not apply, but we have actually other related promotions that actually supports businesses through this COVID-19 period. And that includes deferment of fees and increased number of listings of products. In fact, 10,000 from now till the end of June.
There you go.
So
yes.
Yeah, so if you want to have more details, you can go to the eBay Seller Center, sellercenter.ebay.com.my. So in there, we actually have got one article about what eBay is doing to support merchants during COVID-19. So you'll be able to see a lot more details on there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take this question from Albert. Is eBay a right platform for consumer grocery product like edible cooking oils? This is food again, but grocery.
Yeah, I
Fresh
think
food,
Malaysia, we have a lot of makan.
Yes,
So-
we love to eat.
So I think let me just take a step back, right? And maybe use an alternative approach to actually answer some of these questions, because I think there can be a lot of questions about whether my product can sell. So I would put
Yep.
ourselves into a shoes of a global buyer, right? Whether in US, UK, or even as far as Russia, right? You can ask yourself, right? If you're in the shoes of these people, will they want to buy your product on a global platform from Malaysia? So that will be how I try to answer that question. So edible oil, yes, we can sell, but of course, will it sell? That's the other question. I would say the bigger question that we want to answer, right? So if you are a global buyer from United States or Russia, and you have access to edible cooking oil locally, right? So what makes your product so special? So I'm not an expert of cooking oil. Maybe you have some unique health properties that could be attractive. So I would just pivot it back to, let's say we talk about fish skin, right? So fish skin is salted egg fish skin specifically. It's a renowned, well-known product from Southeast Asia, right? Malaysia makes a lot of it. Not easily available in US, in Russia, and etc., right? So generally buyers will buy from us. So that would be the way I try to address some of the, can my product sell on eBay?
Okay. I can see one more question here from the chat section from Alicia Chong. Maybe we take this question as the last one. Can you elaborate more on the suspended account if no listing within 30 days? Means no new items sold within 30 days?
Okay, so the account doesn't get suspended. Let's say if you sign up, right, our account manager contacts you, your limits gets lifted, and within 30 days you do not do any activities. What will happen is that our account managers will, of course, give you a couple of calls and say that, hey, you're not listing yet. What happened? Like, is it you guys are busy or whatnot? So if generally you have demonstrated that this is not a business that you want to pursue, so what the account managers will do is that they will move your account from a business status to a casual status. So that's pretty much what will happen.
All right. I think that will be the end of our session. Thank you so much, Yongsheng. And thanks to you all. A copy of a presentation and also the recording of this webinar will be uploading into our Go e-commerce portal. If you would like to gain access, please register at www.go-ecommerce.my. With that, we have come to the end of eDagang Expo Day 2. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. with more exciting webinar. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And not to forget, selamat berbuka puasa to all my Muslim friends. Thank you all.